Hi, today I'm going to go over some stretches that is going to help you with hamstring length. So a lot of us are tight in our hamstrings, which can lead to tight hips, lower back, glute. And so there's different ways to keep stretching your hamstring and just get more and more flexible over time. So let's get started. We're going to go ahead and just go into a wide knee child pose to start. So the knees are out a little bit, and then we're just going to extend the arms in front of you. So relaxing through your shoulders here, we're going to roll the hips side to side. So we're releasing our lower back, just kind of mobilizing through our hips here. Pardon my very needy kitty today. Okay. And then from here, we're gonna go into a little calf stretch as well. So a little down dog action. So hips go high, drop the heels down, and then massage out your feet and your calves. You're gonna drop one heel down and then the other. So when we're stretching into our hamstrings, we also wanna make sure that our lower legs or our calf muscles are also a little bit more loosened up. So just go ahead and stretch it out. We'll go both feet together down, pushing the heels down towards the floor. If you're tight in your hamstrings, by the way, bend your knees a little bit and that'll help you push your heels down, and then lift your tailbone upwards so you're really getting more length through your hamstring. Okay, so from here, we're gonna go ahead and take one leg forward. So I'm gonna take my leg farthest from you, forward. I want to sink down into a nice hip flexor stretch here. So right now we're stretching to the back leg, into the hip flexor, sinking low into the leg. So we're stretching here. And now you can keep your hand on your thigh or even on your hip. Otherwise, we're going to send the hips back and stretch through the hamstring here. Now, if you're tight in your hamstring, you might need to keep your knee bent a little bit. Again, option, instead of taking your hand to the floor, is your hand on your hip or even your top of your thigh. Just make sure you're not placing your hand on the knee joint itself. And then we're gonna move forward and back from here. So we're gonna rock the hip forward and then back. So a little bit more dynamic in this stretch. And if you can place your hand down on the floor, you're rocking the hips forward and then back. So a little dynamic motion to get the blood flowing, allows a little bit more flexibility each time we send the hips back, because we're focusing on that hip, the hamstring of the front leg here. Now let's go ahead and hold it back and then hike the toes up and just notice that it stretches a little bit more into your calf. So as we stretch into the calf muscle here, pulling the toes up, again, just to what feels good for you today. And every day is going to be a little bit different. And then we'll relax our leg a little bit here and just continue stretching into your hamstring. If you want, you can even reach the leg further. If you are keeping your knee bent, you can still slide the back leg back a little bit more. It really does depend on where you are in your flexibility journey. If you're more flexible, you can just slink yourself all the way down. Find what works for you today, okay? So we're stretching nicely into the hamstring here. Maybe come down a little deeper through your upper body. And then we're going to rotate forward. So I'm keeping my lengthened leg out still. Take the arm forward and then send your hips back. So this is an inner thigh stretch. Now this foot is flat, by the way. The foot is flat. That's going to protect your knee joint. And then we'll rock the body forward and then back. So mobilizing through your hips. And one more time. And we can do the other side now. So let's go over to the other side. We'll start with the hip flexor stretch. Coming down into that stretch here. Chest is lifted. Feel that stretch to the hip flexor in your hind leg. Relax your toes. Posture is tall. Relax your shoulders. Again, you're only taking stretches to what feels best for you today. And every day might be different depending on what your activities were like, if you were sitting for a very long period of time. Okay, remember you can keep your hand on top of your thigh. We're going to send the hips back. So it could be here on your hip, it can be hand on top of the thigh there, again avoiding the knee joint. And of course, if you can place your hand on the ground. Now, if you have anything that you can place your hand on, so for example, like a yoga block or something like that, you can place your hand on the yoga blocks too. That helps so much. And let's go ahead and start to rock the body forward and back. So knee comes forward, knee goes back. Knee comes forward, and then we're just sending the hips back. Again, option, placing your hand on your hip or your top of your thigh. If you're next to a wall like I am, you can even use a wall. Just anything that's going to help support you and allow you to stay taller through the spine. And let's go ahead and send the hips back here and hike the toes up. Ooh. Well, calf stretch there. You should feel that in the calf, even behind the knee a little bit. So if it feels like it's too much though, soften your knee so that way we're protecting our tendon. And just breathe in and breathe out into your calf. It's like you're sending your hips back away from your heel even, so you're really lengthening to the hips here. So it's not just settling in, but you're actually kind of pushing your tailbone back. And then let's allow the foot to resettle, just basically loose. Sending the hips back. And again, bending the knee a little bit if you need to, just kind of releasing some of that tension helps a little bit. And then you can start to extend the leg. Take your legs to where it feels good to go, where you are today. So it really does depend on where your body's going to take you. And then we can even drop the upper body down a little bit more. Accentuates the stretch. Goes a little deeper into the hamstring, sending the hips back behind you. All right, and let's go ahead and rotate the body forward here. So again, foot is flat, and then we're gonna send the hips back here. So releasing the hips back, stretching into the inner thigh. So you wanna feel this right here in the inner thigh. Again, keep the knees soft, protect your knee joint. Normally this is my looser side, but for some reason I'm a little tighter today on this side. And then we're gonna rock the body forward and then back. Forward and then back. Mobilizing through the inner thigh, through your joints. And one more time. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and tuck everything in, and we're gonna extend the legs. So extending the legs this way, extending the legs, lengthening through the spine, sending your hips back so it creates this little micro tilt through your hips. Pull the toes up towards you and then lean in. So we're stretching now through our lower back, through our hamstrings. You can hold on, but make sure you don't pull anything, okay? So we're just settling ourselves into that stretch. And up you go in our final stretch, taking the legs out as wide as you feel comfortable. Again, send your hips back, leaning forward, keeping the spine long. Hands can stay behind you or it can be in front. Again, finding your best stretch here, pulling the toes up. Getting that hamstring, low back, as well as inner thigh stretch. All right, you do these stretches every day and it's going to help you get more and more flexible over time. Good luck, and I will see you next time.